Tokens.com and Metaverse Group, they bought 2.4 million worth of land in Decentraland. Public Realm, I think they purchased $4.6 million worth of land within Sandbox. I see it like in real life, it's all about location.
Yeah, I love that. Hello and welcome to the Financial Fox, finance, investment, and crypto with a twist. I'm your host, Steffy B. I'm the founder of PR company Cassiope Services, and every week I bring to you my favorite conversation with investment experts, market disruptors, mover and shakers, and the coolest project in crypto. Today, I'm bringing to you the conversation I had with Adonis Zachariades, founder of Renovi, the first NFT marketplace created for architects and designers. So, we talk a lot about the metaverse, but we have to build this new universe. So we are seeing lots of brand companies rushing to buy lands, and that's great. But what we are going to build there, how it's going to look like to be similar or even more exciting than the world we live in. So we want to see, museum, not just with arts, but we want to see actually nice architecture. We want to see different kind of places, restaurant, stuff that we enjoy looking at, but they are also functional for users to have this kind of experience as well. So this is what I'm going to discuss with Adonis, and also investigating how his company is bringing these architects and this kind of creativity to the space, and is building and developing the next metaverse. So I'm sure you're going to enjoy, but first remember that I'm not a financial advisor, so any kind of investment that you make, remember you have to do your own research, and all the content here is for informational purposes only. Before we go into the episode, I also want to talk to you about my new crypto web domain name, FinancialFox.crypto, which I got it from Unstoppable Domain that is creating a new generation of web domains, which are actually domain names on a blockchain that you buy once and you don't have to worry about renewable fees anymore. They are decentralized, so no one can take them down or hack your data, but they're only yours. And also because they are effectively domain NFTs, you can trade them and make money once the decentralized web will be taking over the internet. Also, don't worry about minting fees or anything like that, because they make the process so simple that, you just pay for that. They use Polygon and they cover all the minting fees. And this is great news for crypto payments, because you can add your wallet address to the domain name and forget about it. And you can just give your crypto web domain for any payments you need, and voila, the money are just being paid into your wallet straight away. And how do you get your Unstoppable domain name? Just use the link in the description below, which would also support our channel. And if you want to do a little bit more to help us, because you like the work we do and the content that we are bringing to you, you can also make a donation in Ethereum, Bitcoin, or USDC to FinancialFox.crypto. That will be super appreciated. Now, and this is the last thing, if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure that you click the subscribe button, and also follow us on social media to stay up to date with our news and interviews. And if you have any comment, do please add them in the YouTube section below. Hi, Adonis, how are you?
Hi, I'm really good. Really nice to be here.
Yes, fantastic. So quite exciting to have you on the show, because everybody's talking about the metaverse. Everybody's saying, oh, how cool it's going to be, all the things that we're going to build in. And then we see all the brands rushing to buy land, to say they're going to sell product there. But, if we look at the reality, the metaverse is quite primitive. It doesn't look like the real world yet. But you are in the space. That's what Renovi is about. So I'm really curious and also excited to hear your plans and how you see things evolving.
Absolutely. So you hit the nail right on the spot, in the sense that the metaverse is not there yet. At least it's not there in the sense how we imagine it to be from the movies that we've seen.
Yeah, because I can't have a dinner with anybody in the metaverse. Yeah, and then I'm walking and I look like a little alien that try to stop people in the central land, and it's so odd.
It really is. But that's why you actually built Renovi. And that was the part of the reason why we wanted to build Renovi. We fooled around in the metaverse, what it had in front of us, something like Decentraland, for example. And we figured that, there's more room for improvement here. There's room for amazing buildings to be designed and showcased within Decentraland and then all the other metaverses that exist out there. And we want to help. And that's our mission, actually. Our mission is to empower the architects to build an open and interoperable metaverse. So that's exactly what we're thinking. We want the buildings that you walk into within Decentraland, within Sandbox, within any other metaverse you can imagine, to be more realistic or be more well thought of from architects in collaboration with game developers.
Okay, so tell me a bit more how you onboard those architects. We have seen there is a lot of going on in crypto arts and NFT. So I guess the talent is there also, more like in the architectural environment. But tell me how you get the creativity in the metaverse.
Okay, really good question. So let me backtrack a bit and say that what we're building is Renovi, the first niche NFT marketplace for architects and 3D designers. And we are building a niche marketplace because we believe that architects want to embrace the NFT world. They just don't have a place on their own in order to embrace it. And that's how we actually onboard most of the architects, and we bring the value of the architects into the space. Architects, like other artists, they want to be amongst their peers. They want to have a place where they can showcase their work and can be valued at court next to something which is similar to their work. For example, if you upload something on OpenSea, which is an amazing platform, you're going to be next to Bored Ape and a CryptoPunk, for example, and then you're going to have a bit of architecture. So you lose a bit of that. Why is architecture so unique and why it provides value? So if you create actually a marketplace which is only for architects, then you can see the value that they can bring and then how they can put it to the other metaverses. So this is our part of the unique proposition which we're building. And this is what interests a lot of the architects that are coming and they're onboarded within Renovi. And that's how we get the talent in. In addition to that, what we're doing, we're actively going to universities, speaking to them. So sometimes we're even invited within the architectural departments to give speeches about what the metaverse is, to educate younger talent, the younger students, into what they can also do apart from the traditional architecture that they have. So it's a mixture of creating something just for them, educating them, and repeating that cycle until everybody understands what the metaverse is, what they can do, why there is a space for them. And then at the end of this is we're adhering to all the pain points that architects might have when they enter this space, which is like...
So my question would be, are you going to give them the tools to actually build stuff in the metaverse? So let's say you gather interest from architects, because I understand also your team member, they've got lots of contacts. You have been in the property space and architecture space as part of the founder background. So once you get these people say, right, I want to do that, do you offer them these tools to build?
We don't actually offer them the tools. We just accommodate for their tools, I would say. So an architect can design in a plethora of software packages that exist out there. And we don't want to limit that. We don't want to say, you're designing in AutoCAD. That's not good for us. if you're designing in AutoCAD, for example, or Blender or Unity and Unreal Engine, keep on doing what you're doing. If there's a metaverse place for it, then you can put it in there, no problem. But what we want to do in the meantime is have a marketplace that can allow you to mint an NFT for any file format that you can imagine, okay, when it comes to 3D file formats, VR or AR, but also allow for the larger file sizes as well. So if some creators come with a full, I don't know, city, for example, on a Unreal Engine, something which will be a huge file to upload on OpenSea or Rarible, you could easily upload it to us and it will accommodate for that.
How do you make that happen?
How do I make that happen? Really interesting question. So the best way to describe this is that our platform acts like a huge Google Drive. We use Filecoin or Pinata at the background. Okay, you don't need to mess with any of that as a creator or an architect, but at the background, you are a big Google Drive in a way. And then you are able to mint your NFT, and we mint the correct address where your file is stored. And then that's what you get as an NFT. That allows us to mint any file, and it also allows us to mint larger files as well.
Okay, talking about scalability, because we know all the issue with Ethereum. What are you using a layer 2, or what's your process about using technology that make transaction faster, cheaper, obviously to onboard more architects as well, so you don't have a high barrier of entry?
Really, really good question. And of course, it's even more important for us because the younger talent from universities, it's their part of the people, the individuals that we want to onboard. And obviously, they're not that flexible when it comes to their finances. They're university students. So we want to bring that barrier of entry as low as it can. At the moment, we are on the Ethereum chain, and we are looking to port what we have into the Polygon chain as we speak, actually, in order to remove that barrier of entry. Of course, moving into a layer 2 solution like Polygon, that means we're going to have quicker transactions, but also we're going to be more scalable. And in addition to that, something which is really important for architects is we're going to be sustainable as well. That means you do not use a traditional computational power. We do not make the environment worse off, but we make it better off. So this is something which is really important and close to the heart of a lot of the architects. And at some point, it's a barrier as well to a lot of the architects that want to start within the NFT space. They want to have, just like in real world, where they have their sustainability and they're correct towards sustainability, they want to have that in the online world as well.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a very important point. And, you kind of, I wanted to go to the students because they are basically, they have the opportunity to actually monetize and get on the market straight away rather than go through all this kind of a different process where maybe their creation, they're never going to land anywhere. And I think this is a very important point that actually NFT is creating this opportunity. But I understand that you are running a competition that is actually with the University of Nicosia. So can you tell me more about that? Because it looks like it's quite a big one, isn't it?
Absolutely. So we're running the Top Metaverse Build competition. That's the website, topmetaversebuild.com. The full name is the Next Top Metaverse Build competition. It's actually in partnership with Decentraland, 3Dium, Metaverse Group, GTA, all the big names. Actually, some more Metaverse platforms that I cannot announce right now because the announcement is not out there yet. But if you know the big Metaverse platforms, you're right in the money. And we want to create that competition so all the architects, all the university students can actually create for the Metaverse. We given them 10 categories. One of those categories is simply architecture, which is something broad, but we've given them other categories like play to learn games, play to earn games, casino venues, music festivals, etc. Anything that will spark their imagination to create for the Metaverse, and any Metaverse, by the way. And we're giving a lot, and I mean a lot of prizes when it comes to that. Decentraland is donating a parcel of land. We're giving $50,000 in Renovi tokens among the competition. So it's going to be in different shapes and forms in prizes. Some other metaverse platforms are also donating land. And the University of Nicosia, their architecture department, they're bringing judges in to judge a lot of this work, but also provide seminars, educate some of the upcoming students. I'm not sure if your audience is aware, University of Nicosia is one of the leading universities when it comes to their masters in blockchain technology. Is being backed by Coinbase as well when it comes to their some of the initiatives that they give, and they're in collaboration with NASDAQ with regards to the Metaverse initiative that they're having. So they're, although from a small island, they're quite a big name when it comes to the crypto space, and they're going full on with this competition to help us as much as they can to bring all the architects, all the creators into this space.
Oh, fantastic. So when is the deadline? Give us a little bit of time, and where is going to happen? So
the competition started on January 31st, and it's going to take 2 months up to March 31st. So that's the time for you to submit any work or create work and submit it. In order to submit your work, you need to upload an NFT within the Renovi platform. There's no fee to enter, by the way. It's absolutely free. So you need to upload your NFT on the Renovi marketplace, but also join a Discord channel and then upload the relevant documentation that accompanies your NFT on the platform in order to showcase us your thought process. What have you thought about when creating your NFT? Where does it fit? Where does it not fit? What are you thinking of when it comes to the metaverse? Should it be on the land? Should it be in the air? Should it be under sea? Who knows? It's all up to the architect's perspective to create. So yeah, it's going to be on our marketplace and also on our Discord channel.
Okay, interesting. I mean, I quite like the point that you say, let's just get the architect to come up with their creativity rather than limiting them. And then we are going to make it happen in the metaverse. So that's, I think that's a great approach rather than limiting them in doing something that then, is actually going to bring not maybe the result we wanted. So considering your project, what you want, and the current state of the metaverse, when do you think we are going to see some interesting development in the metaverse to look like more like a real world, or where there is more social interaction, where I can actually go to a restaurant? Now, yes, you can go to a gallery and check out stuff, but I think where maybe you are going to go there to look at the beauty of some buildings, when you're going to have a different kind of experience, when we are going to see kind of that happen. Are we talking about years? Are we talking months? Are we talking decades? I don't think decades, though.
Really interesting question. I'm going to take it back, and you need to remember that internet didn't happen in a day. All right. For example, because I like to think of the metaverse, maybe a more improved version of the internet. So when you think of the first internet, you probably had a white page with black text, and then you had the hyperlinks, and then you were able to see pictures and then movies, music, whatever. And then Web 2.0, you were able to communicate with everybody, and it was amazing. And now have the metaverse, and it's the initial stages of the metaverse. Okay. Now, I think there's a mixture of things that need to happen in order for the metaverse to actually take the shape and form that we want to. When it comes to more photorealism, that is happening already. We have the tools, we need the resources, which is more people entering this space and creating something like that. For example, it pops in my mind right now that maybe Digital Village, one of the metaverse platforms that are upcoming, they're more photorealistic. They're using Unreal Engine into their graphics. So it's going to look a bit more photorealistic rather than the more gamified version that we have up to now. But I think in order to actually achieve the full metaverse experience that everybody is thinking and actually talking about, then it needs to be a smooth and seamless transition from what you do every day. And I mean that in the sense, metaverse is not only putting VR goggles and sitting somewhere on your chair alone and experiencing it. It's also the AR glasses that maybe they're going to come in the future that give you the information like you're outside in the real world. It's a mixture of all those technologies. It takes together blockchain, 5G, AI. It's a mixture of a lot of technologies, and they all need to come together to form the metaverse. So, for example, the example you've given us with the restaurant, with maybe to experience more, I see that as an AR version of the metaverse that we will need some sort of glasses. And maybe you're sitting alone in a restaurant here in London, but you see somebody through your glasses in a similar restaurant somewhere in Italy, for example. And that's also a metaverse experience. And it's something that could be 5 or 10 years away, okay? Or maybe I'm overestimating how long it's gonna take. But it's happening. It's something that everybody is working towards with their different visions.
Listen, last question that I want to ask you is about the value of property, of real estate in the metaverse. So, we have seen company buying land. I bought some land in Avigocin-verse as well. So
that's amazing.
Right. Value of the land. Are we just at the very beginning? So now it's really, really cheap, and then eventually it's gonna become, cheap. I mean, people are spending quite a few million now to get even a little place in the central land. So I'm not sure how cheap it is, but I would like you to comment maybe a little bit on where we are with property valuation, land valuation, and eventually how do you see real estate developing in the metaverse?
Really interesting question. Maybe some interesting figures as well that are coming into my mind. Tokens.com and Metaverse Group, they bought 2.4 million worth of land in Decentraland.
Yeah.
Republic Realm, I think they purchased $4.6 million worth of land $4.6 million worth of land within Sandbox. So some crazy numbers that are showing in these metaverse platforms. Now, where do we see this going? Really interesting question. I see it like in real life, it's all about location.
Yeah, I love that.
All right. So I think everybody's jumping in because they want to have the best location within the metaverse, these metaverse platforms. They want to be in the correct place within Decentraland, which is next to a road, next to a Genesis Plaza, or next to a big event space. They want to be next to a famous person within Sandbox. So that land is selling in a premium, just like if you were in Hollywood and your house was next to, I don't know, The Rock, right? It will have more value than a house in the suburbs. It's exactly the same idea. So I think that's why big corporations, this is what they're imagining, this is what they're thinking, and that's why they're jumping in. And you see some crazy amounts in some sort of land. But to be honest, there's other parcels of land that are still in good value, and you could easily purchase them in order to get into these metaverse platforms. I see real estate rising in value as you move onwards. There should be some sort of correction because, okay, maybe there's some irrational exuberance happening at the moment with everybody going crazy about land. So that correction is going to be when we're waiting for the new buildings to come in, when we're waiting for the new utility and interaction to happen on that land. So, but after we get that utility, after we get that full-on interaction, you're going to see the land rise even more in value, in my opinion. And you're also going to see a lot more metaverse platforms popping up. It's not going to be an issue. It's not about who is going to win them all or who is going to be the one that is the best out of everything. I think we're going to see a lot of them and they're going to work harmoniously together at some point. Maybe your avatar from Decentraland would be able to move into Sandbox.
Exactly.
And then, I don't know, maybe into Digital Village, Somnium Space, you name it. How they're going to do that? Maybe a nice graphic and a portal, who knows? But I think if you bring all those metaverse platforms together and you form that sort of connection between them, then your land is meant to rise in value even more than what you have now. And then you're going to see even something more interesting, which will be the buildings that go on the metaverse. They're plug and play, right? They're 3D. The 3D NFTs, for example, you have it one day and then the next day you don't have it. So you're going to see a lot of these buildings changing and morphing in crazy, like super speedy, super like one day is here, the next is not here, is something else. So you're going to see changes that are really cool and interesting in these metaverse platforms, especially when everybody starts creating for them. So yeah, that's my view about what's going to happen or in the future.
Yeah, it's exciting. I do agree with you that there won't be one metaverse winning everything, because it's like the world that we live in. There are so many different places that actually you can have one metaverse more focused on natural beauty, one other one that is more like the hanging out social place, another one that is more about the art city. So, it would be really interesting to see, but definitely something more composable, interoperable, and exciting as well. Okay, listen, Adonis, it was fantastic to have you on the show. For people there, for architects, students that are interested into the competition, tell us where they should go, and also maybe give us some links to the main platform that you communicate with your community.
Absolutely. So what I always say is, if you go to Renovi.io, that's Renovi.io. You will find all the information to upload your NFT, but also all the information to reach out to us. It has our Telegram. It will soon have our Discord link over there as well. But also it has a nice small pop-up about the competition too. So if you want to go to the competition, which is topmetaversebuild.com, you will be able to be redirected there and, see what we're building, what the competition is all about, see the upcoming metaverse platforms we're going to have, which is really exciting. And please talk to us. We're always open. We're always chatting on Telegram, Twitter. Just reach out to us.
Fantastic. Thank you. Good luck for now.
Thank you very much.